It's the time again. Welcome back. We've got some more despair. We've got some more issues with one's life, exactly where it's going, and everyone around them. That's right. Zetsubou Sensei is back. And honestly, I'm not sure how things can get worse. But every episode seems to outdo itself. At first it was just some minor inconveniences and annoyances, but now it seems like there is no sanity in this world. Just deep-rooted nihilism and some questionable motives and feelings down in one's soul. But it's always amusing to see, so strap in, because we're about to start. Sweet. Starting with a photo inconspicuousness. Okay, so... Okay, that's a bit concerning if the doctors don't even recognize you'd been born. So this is about his complete, lack of presence? Even if they were right. I mean, that's quite a superpower. I've got something similar, just not maybe to this extent. But for him to be present but on the sidelines constantly and missed from the graduation. Well, I mean, what other aspects has he been missed out from then? Completely, he's like a shadow and a ninja all wrapped into one. Sorry, who are we talking about? The class had a class rep? I mean, is this the reason why he was blending into the background and hidden in plain sight, especially with that weird onsen episode? Just sat there, no one seemed to be fazed slightly. Could be the villain origin story of the guy, or he could count himself lucky. Really depends on your outlook. But to be able to hide away and not have attention drawn to yourself, that could be a blessing in itself. And I think it's a power that some of these characters in this show so far could really do with. They draw a little too much attention to themselves sometimes. I do love that while we have Zetsubou Sensei still with his usual little funk and outlook on life, he hasn't had any brazen attempts at it yet. Or at least for a while. Fated to be an outcast. If only the sun itself could lose track of him. Did he hit something? Get out of the road. I mean, it is impressive, and I do like the, I would say art style change, but it wasn't. It was just stop motion photos. Someone saw him. Trying to wave and draw attention, say hi. Immediately ignored. Moving on. Yes, he is the true outcast, despite everyone chasing after him. So, almost as like those words are stated purely for him. Nicolas Cage? Huh. So yeah, I guess, yeah, Marie Curie would always be the one people immediately maybe recognize, think of. Poor Pierre. Maybe he would be pleased that his family did so well. And then having... Interesting to me, no records. Oh, obviously he did his job so well that... I don't think the entirety of India is overlooked because China exists. Did I just see Wuthering Heights? Where great deeds go unnoticed when... I mean, he passed on his knowledge and wisdom, so you can just leave now. Excuse me. I mean, she's going to make a lot of money from suing them all. But seems to be unperturbed by it. She... Is this forspoken shadow that was mentioned before? Ah! Sorry, what was the animation? So... I guess it, yeah, truly goes to what they were saying, being overlooked. Comrade in arms. They can put down their differences once in a while. Okay. How would you become a hypocrite for turning it in? Who's going to go to a police box and go, like, I dropped my... Did he find something as well? I dropped my money. Has anyone handed it in? Is it about to be undone by a great find? That one needs some investigation. Immediately overshadowed. And then at least it was looked upon. There's one that didn't even get a look in. Let alone having some good karma. It's all a change of perspective. The sun needs a shadow. Light needs dark. There's some interesting references being made there. At least one that I recognise. Silhouette quizzes. Is there even a presence behind it? Why did you reveal nothing? So, who are you? Check the class register. Has he actually been marking him down as present? After trying so hard, really bringing himself up. Was it because no one volunteered? He's fading away. So... I mean, if you can't be part of the mortal world, physical reality, sure, become one of legend, a fairy. I seem to remember a manga or something about someone who had no presence, and therefore did quite well in a world of monsters. But when he's actively trying to leave a mark. And that's how a new folklore started. $10 and he's still not here? Has anyone checked the closets? That must be it. Everyone can go home. Ah. So for the time that wasn't a holiday, he's trying to escape. Some people would be into that. I mean, it's not exactly like... I hope she's not getting some ideas after what she's just witnessed. Yeah, I don't think there's been many that would stop him at this point. Oh no, he's not getting the attention that he craved. Criticism training. I mean, I do believe people need a lot more exposure to words and ideas that they are not comfortable with. Raging alcohol. You didn't finish yours naked? What? Did I miss this paper? That would be quite a big story, to be fair, in current day. Although there are some of them that may not need criticism training. In fact, some of them need their phone taken away. Who's at the door? And questionable presence making themselves known. Why does the school hire a criticism trainer? What? I thought there was just some shit that he came up with. What was this about? A bit late for that. I mean, although she may not attend lessons, she at least gets into the appropriate attire for PE. Why can't you go to Family Mart? Are they about to destroy this man and his entire career? I mean, there's a couple of ways I can expect it to go down. Excuse me. Just get straight to the point, I guess. I mean, get used to hearing it. I can see that this is a career-defining moment for so many. So, how can I apply for this job? Really? Are you sure? I think that's more scathing than anything he would have said. Something about the panting. How terrible. Her choice in shampoo is astounding. To be fair, if that's the worst he can come up with, you got your life going pretty well. Oh no. Well, to having a joint criticism where you're destroying someone's life over their hair care routine. Oh, how quickly mob rule can take over. Everyone line up for their criticism. I actually texted that one. Great reaction. Huh. So treat it like actual fire. How are you going to... You'd think she'd be desensitized to words normal now. But how is their self-worth going to feel after all of this? And are there some that are going to be immune to... What did I just see? Well... just... You know what? Let her have that imagination. To be fair, if he actually completely walks past him and doesn't even realise that's gonna be the worst for him. Didn't even turn up for class. Huh? Completely indirect eyeline. And still nothing. This boy is fated to not even be in the credits. And is cheap gum even that bad of a scent? A divine... Oh... Where can one get those, that design? The fairy has returned, with a light so bright, practically shining everywhere. So he knows a way to be witnessed every now and again, but is it worth it? Is he going to lash out violently? No one even said anything yet. And there was a guy when I was in school who had thinning hair when he was 18. Like, I think really got bald early. Took it in his stride. No one actually gave a shit. I think if there's something that you're conscious about and you just own it, no one can take it away from you. It becomes a warfare. It's only getting stronger. Is anyone going to pick up the courage? At least he's getting some recognition. So I think rather than anyone else in the class, her kind of curt and rather abrupt sense of wording is probably going to be a lot more sharp. Or is the fact that, straight to the point. It's hopefully not awakening a new side. Before we switch to the next shot, I kind of guessed where this was going. Like we saw with the chain before. Hopefully he doesn't get on all fours and start barking. Oh, we had the beetle on the board earlier. She really needs to get that one off her chest. Nice one. She's really getting into this a bit too much, though. And with the wind blowing, his time in the sun is ended. When one has such a smile, apparently... Thank you for the censoring. That's the one time I agree with it. But also... What's with the multiple slasher horror characters? Rocky! And, wow. The references being made here. Couldn't happen to a nicer man. Also, this kind of... It's really going for it. Rather than just a quick one, it's lingering. Though, should we really expect any less from Zetsubou Sensei? Jeez, it is going on for a while. It's like there's Art Noir films. Albert Hitchcock? Well, just like our lives slowly draining away. Whose episode? Oh yeah, one would never remember. Did we even have an episode this time? I am really loving the 2010 random humor of Zetsubou Sensei, where it just hits you out of left field, but then it has a theme that runs through it. Though some deeds go unnoticed, thrown by the wayside over something greater. How many jokes didn't get the recognition deserved thanks to something that might have drawn your attention at just a second or two beforehand? And also, that guy with no presence all throughout his school years and very little recognition from anyone. I'm now looking back at my school time and trying to think who amongst them would have been in that predicament. And I'm starting to worry it would have been me. And without doing a census, I don't know of a way of figuring that out. But also looking at my channel recently and how well it's doing in the analytics, I think I've dropped off the face of the earth in presence. So it doesn't feel great. If you'd like to help me out a little, just show a little love my way. It would mean more than you would know. But also, when it comes to a battle of criticism, you can levy pretty much anything you want at me, and I would mostly not really care. The only criticism that would actually leave a lasting mark upon my soul would be anything that's untrue. Because falsehoods are what harm me the most. As if you started complaining that I'm a moron with very little actual entertainment value to add and nothing of intelligence to say, and with an awful accent. Way hit the nail right on the head there. Couldn't have said it better myself. And much like the characters in this show, usually when it comes to shows, when a character can be boiled down to one aspect or a completely predictable comment, mindset, action, it can get a little tiresome. And although the characters in this do all share that thread where we know exactly where they're going to go and what kind of jokes are going to be made in every episode, the fact that there are kind of so many of them and they don't deviate. Sure, it doesn't really do anything outlandish with them, and even when it tries to highlight it, it just makes it even stronger. The fact that not only is Zetsubou Sensei aware, but it is leaning so heavily, it tilts the scale in the opposite direction, where it's actually kind of endearing. I just hope no one's actually like this in reality. And also, if anyone actually found a briefcase of notes, would you hand it in, police? Honestly, depending on the quantity of money there, I'd just leave it alone, walk off, pretend I didn't see it. If it was a 1,000 yen note on the floor, £10 note here, I guess, well, that goes in my pocket and I'm just continue walking. Don't know what you're on about. What is the denomination of money where you start to think, yeah, maybe I should report this? I am not a high and noble and moral upstanding citizen like Zetsubou Sensei. Although he did it just for the looking good rather than any proper sense of morals. Does that mean the actual act itself is morally ambiguous? He still did a good thing by handing it in. Well, I'll leave it up to the philosophers. They can have a fun time boring the shit out of anyone actually trying to figure that one out. I'm going to move on because there's a lot more anime to watch. And if you've enjoyed this one, let me know. I'm having a fun time, and hopefully at least if you've made it this far in, you are as well. So, let me know by leaving a like or a comment down below. Consider subscribing if you don't want to miss out the next episode. And also, well, apart from joining onto my Discord for fun, frolicking conversation with friends. That's not a lie, it's a hellscape out there. Well, I hope you can rest up well, so that I can see you bright and early for the next one. Thanks to my patrons, I may not vanish into obscurity, so if you would like me and my channel to have a little more presence without having to have substantial hair loss, consider joining onto my Patreon as well. So join on with the likes of M.O, Noku, Sal, Guado, Kite, Ruben Villamawa, Raywin, Wolfie Sensei, and everyone else. For if it wasn't for them, I may be nothing more than a shadow in the background.